of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to make a motion, we go into executive session, to discuss personnel before we start the meeting. I'll second that.
We have a public hearing, so, I'm just saying we do.
Maybe we go in there after the public meeting.
Oh, you want to go into it before the meeting starts?
Can we put the item you want into executive session off the agenda instead?
And just move it?
All employee matters then should be tabled until after executive session.
After the executive session.
Do we need to go?
Work with me.
Or something?
Go ahead and take the meeting on.
Please vote on it. Motion second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
We'll just vote and we'll go into executive session.
Okay.
I know you just voted on going into executive session before the meeting started. We never made a motion to table it.
I'll rescind my motion, make a new motion to go into executive, to table all employee matters until we go into executive session.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Anything else on the agenda you'd like to discuss first? Roll call. Theodore's here, and Cindy, just like Patient and Scott. Okay, and all present up here. We need a motion for the agenda.
So moved.
And second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the minutes from the October 20th.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Bills in between, $126,986.15.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Current claims,
I'll make the motion.
$34,868.50.
I'll second. Motion say out of balance.
It always says out of balance until after you've approved it, and tomorrow I will balance it.
Okay.
Thanks, Debbie. All in favor?
I got a question.
Okay.
Page 5, it says building repairs, miscellaneous repair parts for $662.60.
$662.60.
Mhm.
That's to Northwest Pipe.
What was it for?
That is for something Jason did to his building out there, the new maintenance building,
To the pro shop, is that what that is?
to his maintenance building, some repair parts for it.
So that's golf course.
Yeah, golf course.
And then page 4, there's a travel and conference meals reimbursed for Jay Kumbaya.
For his meals when he went to the training, he paid for, they all paid for their, going to the certification training, but that was just reimbursing the meal. Same for,
Did we ask that he be sent to this?
Tracy was aware he went. I don't know, why is he the only one though?
Gordon's in there too, or he was the last
You go to
time.
the floor.
Gordon's a full-time employee.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Yep.
I got a question. Ready for me? Propane. We just spent $6,823.78 on propane and $1.75 a gallon. Right now, the commercial rate's $1.67 a gallon. Why are we doing this? I've asked you that 3 times, that we usually use pre-buy in the wintertime, not now when it's cheaper now than what we're paying for it.
It's the price through May, and the price will go up. And to do a pre-buy, you have to lock in on a certain amount,
I know that,
okay?
but you don't have to use it right away. You don't have to use it till it goes past what it is now.
Well,
I mean, right now,
the
it's
city hall tank was
$1.67.
empty,
Well, why didn't you,
because we don't have a
Use some milk?
fireplace. We need heat.
why didn't you get proposals from people here in town and get it $1.67?
We got 3 quotes,
For the
they're
pre-bid,
all higher.
did anybody check the state bid price currently?
We went with the county.
No, I'm asking, did you check the
No.
state bid price?
No,
Why?
quite frankly, I didn't know we could even do that.
Jason uses it out at the golf course pretty regularly.
Guys, you asked me to do a propane pre-buy, I did it, and now you don't like it,
No,
but
you're,
that's the deal.
no,
We like pre-buy, but you usually don't use it till the price of pre-buy is over what you paid for it, not under what you paid for it.
I'll
I'd be
remember
like
that
you.
next winter, but they usually go into this in August, we didn't until October.
Still, we don't have to use it until it goes above the price.
City Hall's tank was on 0.
Never mind. Never mind.
Any other questions?
We have a motion.
You have a
approve?
motion and a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No,
Motion carried. Okay, communications from the public. Aaron and Courtney, you're first.
Good evening. We're here to speak to you guys again. And our pile is because we're currently cheering at the football game right now. And when we left, it was 0-0 and it was halftime. So we're hoping that gets better when we go back. We're here to talk to you about our fundraising and what we've done. We apologize for not being at the meeting at the beginning of October. We were actually at a cheerleading competition. So that's why we weren't able to make it on that day. Each of us have currently about $1,500 apiece that we still need to fundraise, and we still are currently working on fundraisers. We're looking for, through the month of November, to continue the raffle tickets that we have already started, and we've actually made quite a bit of money on that. We've sold those at football games, to our families, to local businesses. We've sat at the local businesses and sold to the public, so we've made lots of money on that.
Yeah, we've done as much as we can. Really, the only big problem we had for not making as much money is because we don't have a lot of free time. We do it every minute we can.
And then we also did a steak night down at the American Legion. And we also did bake sale donations, and we sold our raffle tickets there. So,
And helped with our last payment.
yep. Do you guys have any questions for us?
Yeah, how much have you gotten all together?
Altogether, we've raised about $2,000 a piece, so that's like $4,000 together. So we have currently about $3,000 for combination between us. And we're not asking City Council by any means to give us that whole amount. We're just asking if you guys can help us out to help us out.
How much longer do you have to fundraise?
Through the end of November.
Then we leave in a month.
And
after
when's the
that.
trip?
We drive to Denver on Christmas Day, December 25th, and we fly out to London on December 26th.
Can I speak? Can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah.
I think I mentioned last time that we still have kind of a financial problem. We really don't know I talked to our accountant that's working on that today, and we still have a cash difference of $289,000. I can't vote to spend any money anywhere until we get this straightened out. And I'm sorry.
We completely understand. We think it's good for us to tell the city anyway what's going on and the opportunities we have, so.
We appreciate that.
Any other questions for them or comments?
Okay. We're gonna go
Okay.
back to the game now.
All right, yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
On the winning side,
Yes, hopefully we win.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jerry, and I think you have some information in your packets about this one.
Yeah, I think Scott got my proposal, a copy of it to you all. And basically, with the condemnation order, I understand Jerry can't sell the property. And we have agreed to an amount as such between us. But he can't sell it, I understand, until that is satisfied in one way or another. So we're asking to be allowed to assume those responsibilities for the condemnation and then go ahead and make the purchase of the property.
Assume,
Well, satisfy the
Satisfying
conditions. Yeah,
the-
satisfy the conditions of the condemnation.
okay, and you're the potential buyer. of the
Right,
property,
we'd be
correct?
buying the property.
Okay, 'cause you're both Jerry's.
Yes.
So just to be
Yes.
really clear here.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Jerry, I think it's Jenigus.
Jenigus.
Yeah, he wants to sell it, and we have come to an agreement on a price, but we can't do the transaction and because he's under the condemnation requirements. And I guess we'd like to propose that we could get the agreement to assume those requirements to satisfy that, so we can make the transfer of property.
Can we do that?
well,
Yeah, I know.
what we need to do is to lift the condemnation.
I would assume, yeah.
I would prefer seeing something in writing first, stating that this action is going to take place with signatures.
Signatures, explain a little more, signature between me and Jerry,
Yes,
that
between the property owners.
that we agree, that he agrees to let me assume him, and then that'd be fine, no problem.
Purchase agreement, basically.
Oh, purchase agreement,
That included
Yeah.
okay.
the items required for the condemnation. So,
Do you think that would be, satisfy what you're looking for? I mean, because we're kind of in a,
I'm gonna expect dates on when it's done.
oh yeah,
To be
timetable,
done,
right.
just so you know.
That's one of the things I would be looking for in this.
Well, right, yeah, and I did talk to Scott early on, and I didn't get that in there, and I needed to get this submitted so we can get it onto the thing, so I was one of my points too, we need to have that timetable in there. And so,
Would you be allowed to keep the garage on that property?
Yeah, actually, thank you, remind me of that. I don't believe we can leave a garage unless, are you merging those two pieces of property then?
well, I mean, we're
Because
next door.
right now, you can't have a garage on a lot with no other structure.
You can if you do
Put in the plans of living quarters.
or it's a misconstrued or some non-conforming use of a piece of property. You have to apply for what, an easement or a
Use permit on the
use,
deal.
I don't know what it is.
Use permit on review. Are we correct in that?
That'd be
Scott?
a variance.
A variance,
Okay, thanks, Scott.
$150 variance.
Yeah, so that was my biggest concern on this, is that
Was that?
you asked to leave the garage, but there is requirements to do that on, if that lot stays standing on its own. You have to
Okay.
Join it with your,
And we would just have to apply for that, is that? Where would that take place in the process? after we
I
would-
think both would have to happen at the same time. Scott can definitely help
Okay.
you with that, so that when you bring that letter in.
The first thing you'd probably have to do is have some sort of written agreement with Genesis to transfer the property, but this Jerry Steenledge is going to have an agreement with the city of Hot Springs to assume that condemnation and then bring that building down within a certain amount of time. In that same agreement, he can put it in there that he wants to apply for a variance for that garage, which would need to be repaired. I mean, it's in really poor shape, it would need to be repaired, but that would have to go to the planning commission.
Well, I think parts of that garage would have to be torn down.
Yeah, there's kind of a
Front.
lean-to part that's
Yeah,
pretty.
I think that needs to come down. From what
Yeah.
I've seen, the rest of it probably could be repaired. So as long as Scott's happy and you guys want to comment on, if the requirements, or do we want to revisit it after we have a letter from him? Would you like to?
Yeah, it's gonna have to come back for us to close it.
If you get the agreement with the other Jerry,
Huh?
if you can get in writing the agreement with the other Jerry, we'll definitely entertain it.
Okay, so I would have to come back like to the next.
When you're ready, yeah. The 17th is our next meeting, and if you're ready, that'd be great.
Okay,
And your agreement with Jerry Genesis is going to have all of the conditions of the condemnation within it, along with
the time.
a request for a variance and a timetable for completion.
You could stipulate the variance be granted, or you may not want to read it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It is required, yeah, then the last one was the timetable.
Right.
Okay, any other questions, or you need to?
I don't have any more. Anybody else? Okay, thanks. We're happy to see that there's going to be progress there.
Yeah.
It needs some action.
Definitely. The ordinance, condemnation's been there, so it needs to be met, I realize that.
Yeah.
So, okay, thank
All
you.
right, thank you, Jerry. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, is Mr. Inman here from the Fire District? Oh, there you are.
Mayor,
Is
Council,
District 715?
I'm Tom Inman, I represent, I am the president of the local fire
Tom?
district.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
It is 7:15 and we have a public hearing at 7:15.
Oh, okay.
Can you wait a couple more minutes? This should be pretty quick. I'm sorry. My timekeepers. All right, the public hearing is on the change residential zoning designated for the property located at 549 Colebrook Street to a mixed-use designation. It's a public hearing, so if anybody has any concerns or comments about this rezoning, please let us know.
I'll make the motion.
She hasn't closed.
I know, then that's through.
Where is this located at?
It's the property right up above, behind Evans Plunge.
The old Cheryl Ross property.
Oh, okay.
It's on a big plateau, near neighbors.
I have a quick question, I guess. She had a grand opening up there, I guess, for her new business up there. Before this second reading was
It
done.
was actually a chamber mixer.
Okay, chamber mixer, well, whatever you want to call it, I guess. I just don't know if that's really a normal procedure until this second reading has been done. I mean, that's kind of, to me, I don't think that's quite right.
I think the owner is learning the process with the second reading and understands that it was a little premature given the law. So, you're correct.
We don't want to set precedent of doing
No,
that
we
at all.
don't. Don't start a business till you're zoned to have a business.
Exactly.
That's correct. Yeah. No, we agree with you. Any other comments? All right, I'm gonna take us out of the hearing.
Make that motion that we pass that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. All right, Tom, sorry. I knew it'd be
No, I'm
quick.
sorry. I'm the president of the fire district here, the local, and we contract the local fire department the same as the city. And we've been in the process of working with the fire department, looking long range into the future. And one of the things that we're trying to do is eliminate or replace the brush trucks. They're just a water type brush truck with foam trucks. Currently, we have one out at Maverick Junction, which acts as a first response for accidents and fire and so on and so forth, but it's not a foam truck. We've looked at increasing the size of that truck, which currently wouldn't fit in the garage that it's in, to this foam unit. So looking around and getting different opinions, the airport came up. Is why don't we put a substation at the airport? So we're in the process of talking to you folks and working with the fire department. I'm getting some ideas. Is this the direction we want to go with the taxpayers' money? Looking into the future, it makes sense with talking to the FAA. They said, yeah, I mean, the day comes that our airport goes to the commercial rating, that would be the perfect opportunity also for the fire department to step up with full-time people on staff, also supply fire protection for that area. You know, our first responders, we're so lucky to have those dedicated people in this community. And, if we can give them better equipment, better facilities. But right now, I guess we're trying to give you folks our plan and our 20-year outlook of increasing that first response in that Maverick Junction area. That our district covers all the way from Angostura to Custer County. So we're kind of a strung out district. But I guess that's all I got. Any questions?
Does that mean you want to put a building out there?
We would like to look at putting a substation on the city property at the airport, which would have to work with, of course, FAA and the city for that permission.
At whose expense?
Well, it'd be at the district expense. But we'd need a long-term lease from the city in order to put the building in.
And would this coincide with our hangars that are out there already?
I don't believe we want to be on the direct runway of property. We want to be there somewhere, probably, you know, there again, this is just planning stages, but where the hunting club is, right at the approach. FAA would have different regulations, so it sounds like too.
Right, he's responding to our kickoff meeting with the 20-year or the master plan for the airport. The engineering firm was here last Tuesday, and you know, they just asked us to discuss with them different possible uses and future needs out to 20 years for the city/FAA property around the golf or the airport. And Tom and somebody else from their fire district.
Brian Spitzer.
You know, asked me if they could speak to the engineering firm, which they did. I appreciate you coming out that day. And then we just thought that the whole council should be aware of the possibility of planning for this in the master plan. So I asked Tom to be here to share with you all, so you're all on the same, you know, up to speed with what we're trying to do.
It's definitely just the start of a planning stage, but, you know, we need everybody's opinions and input. It just makes sense that if we're going to put a substation either like on the Coffee Cup property, which was originally discussed with those folks, but it makes more sense that it be on the airport. It would, I mean,
And it's actually a benefit to, you know, fire abatement at the airport if there was a need there. So it's a benefit to us.
There's that empty field on the left when you turn in there. That'd be close enough to the highway.
Yeah, it'd just have to be good access. Of course, there's a lot of things that have to be looked at, but,
Yeah, we're just, it's very preliminary, just kind of wanted to get in front of you guys so you were aware.
It's a good idea.
I think it's a good idea too.
we're going to have a written plan and a drawing of a projected building, but I've got to work with the fire department on this. I want them involved, and
What I'm gonna do, Tom, we have 2 surveys that came from the engineering firm. One is from pilots, and the other one is for businesses. So I would like you to fill out one of those surveys or someone from your organization, and also include the write-up that they requested from you
Sure.
with that. So that's, in the next couple weeks, that we'll
Okay.
be asking for that. And we're working on the draft of this survey right now, so as soon as I review it, it'll probably be sent out, so
Okay,
watch for it in a couple weeks or less.
all right, anything else?
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks for coming.
You bet.
All right, any other communications from the public?
Yeah, I got something. I asked it to be on the agenda that we discussed this Evans Plunge name change, and I guess you decided to take it off the agenda, so I guess I'd like to clear the air here on this name change, logo change situation.
We are looking to change the logo, not the
Who's
name.
we?
Theodore, and I'm fine with it.
But it needs to come to council and be voted on.
When we have a logo for you to look at, we will.
Good.
Well, I guess, why would we want to change the logo? I don't understand.
Because it should be more like a city branded sign, not Broncos colors or whatever those are.
I'm fine with Broncos color.
So,
I'm not.
to change all this
Thanks for
advertising, I
telling me
guess,
that.
I'm curious what it's gonna cost to change all of our advertising.
We have to do that every year anyway, so that's not.
Well, I guess, this Mammoth Springs at Evans Plunge keeps getting thrown out, and that's false. That's not the Mammoth Springs. I guess I want to get that
And
cleared
that's not
up.
what we're doing, we're changing the logo. It will not say Mammoth Springs. Because we did do the research, just looking at it. And for some reason, everybody gets all excited, but clearly the logo is outdated and does not match city branded colors.
Are you talking about the swirling?
Yeah, so we're just looking to have more of a brand, the colors that we have on our city entrance sign, and to have it look more like a municipality as opposed to a privately owned business, which it's no longer.
Good.
Okay? Yes?
I'm Linda Varvel, and I was coming to the council to look for an update on the paperwork for the lien on the Fresno property.
I have signed that and it's back to the attorney, and I did not hear anything back yet, but
Okay. So
it's in progress.
is your city attorney going to be notifying me of?
I believe so.
Okay,
I had to sign it before it could move forward. And I
Okay.
think Debbie, you signed that as well.
okay,
So we at City Hall have done what we can to move that forward.
all right.
It's just now with our attorney, right?
Yeah.
Is that where it was mailed to?
All right, thank you, I just thought I'd check.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Save me a call.
All right,
But yeah, it's in progress.
okay.
Any other communications from the public? Yes, sir.
Good evening, I'm Bob Nelson, and I'm here on behalf of Save the VA folks. I want to talk with you a little bit about the next step in the environmental impact study that the VA is doing. Save the VA has received a letter from Steve DeStazio. It's my understanding that possibly the city has also received a letter.
Yes, and didn't I give you all copies?
Yes.
Okay.
Got 2 of them, October 9th and October 20th.
For the dates for the workshop?
No,
No,
the dates
Oh,
of
the
their
dates,
letters.
you got the letters. Okay, all right.
the workshop's like.
Yes.
Save the VA has 2 concerns with this letter that I'd like to share with you.
Is that the one from the 20th?
Ours is dated on the 20th, yes.
Okay.
I think they're the same, it's a 4-page letter. Someone who is just reading this letter for the first time would think that this is the first environmental impact statement, section 106 workshop. They didn't identify who the consulting parties are that are going to be at the meeting, so we asked them directly who those consulting parties are going to be.
That's a good question.
We view this as a continuation of an original Section 106 meeting that the VA conducted back on May 31st of 2012. There's a Hot Springs article that covered that. The VA is initiating the consultation meetings with interested parties as described under Sections 106 and 110F of the National Historic Preservation Act. So they've already started the process. Our concern with this is when we ask who the folks are that are going to be at this meeting, it's a much smaller subset of the folks that the VA invited to their original meeting. So these folks should be a part of this second meeting, not the first meeting. So we're concerned about that. The other thing that we're concerned with is that they arbitrarily picked a date without actually talking with any of the consulting parties to see what dates would work for them. The expert for Save the VA, Amanda Campbell, is having scheduling problems. The National Trust for Historic Preservation, the two people that they would prefer to have here, they've already scheduled elsewhere because they weren't aware of these meetings. So what we're asking, Save the VA has already sent an email off to the contractor to say that we're requesting a postponement of the November 18th and November 19th meetings until all the consulting parties, all the original consulting parties, we're assured all of them have received a letter to make sure that they're aware of those meetings and that they actually work actively with the consulting parties to arrive at a date that works for the majority of the folks rather than saying, here's your opportunity and I'll be there or miss the opportunity. So what we're asking is for you folks to consider whether you want to request the contractor to postpone the dates that may work better for you folks. I'm sure you all have schedules. So we're concerned by the fact that the appearance of this is the VA is doing what we've been afraid they're doing all the time, or have been doing all along. They're really not consulting. They're looking to check a box to say, okay, this is the next step.
Are you going to be contacting the,
We've already contacted them.
did you get a response?
We sent the email off today,
Okay.
so I haven't got a response yet. The letter says you can contact Black Hills, but we've contacted the contractor directly. If you would like to do that, we can certainly give you the email address.
Are you
for them to do
proposing
that.
a new date or just?
At this point, we're not.
Okay.
If you folks have something.
Well, I would, if I request a date change, I'd like to propose a date. I don't want to just say, I don't like your date, because personally it does work for me.
Yeah.
So,
We need Amanda there.
right, so I'm just saying, I need somebody to propose a date if, when's Amanda available and.
Yeah, we're looking at somewhere in 2017, 2018.
Okay,
This is
I'll be gone, so.
not necessarily.
Well,
This
no
is-
guarantees I'll be here.
This is just like everything else that Destasio and that upper echelon has been doing to get this VA shut down, like closing the operating rooms, doing away with the X-ray technicians, and not being able to get medication there anymore. I mean, it's arbitrary and capricious. This man needs to be hacked off right at the neck.
My
Destasio?
In February.
That's a long time.
My desire is to not let him off the hook, but this letter is coming from the contractors in the VA.
Bob, I would really, really like to have a proposal for a new date before I go back and ask them for a change.
Well,
That's okay.
that's your call to make. I mean, there are,
But I mean, can you let me know
Well-
when your key people are available?
I can do that, but
Because if
at this point, we're not ready to suggest a date to them. There are 20 other, there's probably 20 other consulting parties out there.
Right.
And I'm not looking to let them off the hook. I want to, what we're looking for is a commitment from them that they are in fact willing to postpone the date and to reconsider, with consultation with other folks, other possible dates. Once we've got a commitment from them to do that, then by all means, we'll be willing to to look to the other consulting parties. We're going to ask them ahead of time rather than just suggesting a date on our own. We're going to talk to the South Dakota Historical Preservation Office, the National Trust. We're going to do that on the side and see what dates work for all of us. So at this point, we're not ready to suggest a date to them.
Regardless of the date, they're supposed to do what they're asking us to do. And then get together with them at the date later. I would like to see us do that.
So those are the two things that concern us, the fact that they're dictating dates.
Well, we can definitely entertain the change of date. I guess I just personally like to not leave things open-ended like that, but I realize you want it out as far as possible. So I'll revisit that letter and I'll contact them and see if we have any options there.
Okay. So the two options would be to contact Black Hills directly, or again, we can...
I know there's a number on there for questions, so
We can give you the email address of the contractor for Labatt. It's Mary Peters, the lady that was in Hot Springs, moderating the two scoping meetings. She's the one that we've been talking to.
Mary Peters?
Mary Peters, yes.
And where is she out of?
She's out of Bellevue, I think.
Yeah.
It doesn't say on her email, but I believe she's in Wisconsin. I believe that's where they're out of.
Give me whatever information you have on who we should contact. In the letter, we only have the email to DeStagio.
Yeah.
So that would be the only way I would be able to give feedback, unless you give me something else.
Which way do you prefer to go?
I'll do both. I mean, I can contact both.
So you want the email address of the contractor?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks for all your hard work there too, in general. Any other communications from the public?
Not sure how this works or anything, but I got a complaint. I'm Jonathan Flight. I live at 945 North 24th, and I got some cars that are deemed inoperable, and I really don't know where to go from there. I got complaints I got to move them out, and I've been working on it. I got 3 of them out, and I got probably, I guess, according to Scott, I probably got 2 or 3 more to get out, and I'm really not sure where to go from here.
Do you have a time frame on when you think you'll get those 3 more out? Or, can you hear me? Do you have a time frame on when you'll get those out? I mean,
Well,
usually there's a letter that says 60 days or something like that. Is that something you can do?
60 days I can do that.
Okay. And I don't think we have a problem. You can do that.
Okay.
60 days before the end of the year, John?
Yes, I think so, I can do that.
Okay. Then I think we're okay.
And then, you know, like some of them got flat tires and they're not licensed, and I'd really like to keep them. So would I probably better, you know, just get the tires aired up and get them licensed, so some of them, you know, they're classics. I really don't want to junk them out, and so I'll take care of that.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're fine if you're okay with the 60 days.
Was that the only complaints they had, was just vehicles?
Well, I had some building materials, some pallets of blocks that I'm building, you know, in the process of finishing my house. And Scott took some pictures of these concrete blocks, evidently. You know, I don't know if it was my neighbor complaining or who, but, you know I got this page with all the pictures on it of all the stuff that I gotta correct.
Okay.
I don't know if that one's got the concrete blocks, but
You gonna correct all that?
Pardon?
Are you gonna fix all that?
But that newspaper article you showed me was the city of Sioux Falls trying to fight a homeowner that had basically similar stuff in their backyard. The judge ruled in the homeowner's behalf, so looks to me like, you can look at that newspaper article, you have it there on the podium, don't you?
Yeah.
You can look at it and see there's the city of Sioux Falls, look at it, he got it on the podium. He showed it to me earlier. The city of Sioux Falls tried the exact same thing.
Do they have the same ordinance?
I'm sure they do.
Well, we don't
How
know
do you know?
that yet, do we?
That's my question, is how do we know what the ordinance is?
Because the
in Sioux
judge
Falls, so
basically
why would
said-
we compare that?
Read it.
It
There's a
sounds,
picture
it sounds
of my
like Mr.
house.
White said he would comply in 60 days, so I'm not sure.
Well, it looks to me like it could
I
possibly
bought
set
that
himself
in
up for a lawsuit.
'97, and I tore it down, and I was trying to find a picture of it finished. And I built a big sun porch, and this is pretty much it finished. You know, it's, this letter from Scott, it deems me that, you know, it's, my property is a public nuisance, and, you know, I'm just really concerned about that.
Well, we do have, ordinances about the unlicensed vehicles. You can get the tires aired up and get them licensed, then there's not an issue there.
Yeah.
But if you can't, or, it's time to move them.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
On the vehicles is one thing, but I don't know what else is in the complaint.
Johnny?
Well, like I said, the concrete blocks, you know, I haven't got the front porch built yet. They're sitting in the yard, and evidently there's something in there that if you gotta have your building materials inside a building or something, and it's like, oh hell, what am I gonna do? Move those blocks inside the house, you know?
There's a concern when you have stuff like that because of the rattlesnakes or whatever, farmers, whatever that live in those areas,
We have
It is
this-
a concern.
Isn't this similar to the house up on 17th Street that we had a problem with?
Let me know what you think you can do in 60 days, okay? For his letter.
If you'll all do yourself a favor and read that article.
That article doesn't concern me because this is not Sioux Falls.
Has a judge's ruling in there.
I don't care what judges
Fair
say.
enough.
Jenny,
It
let us
doesn't
know what you can
concern
do, okay?
us.
Yes, it does.
Well, like I said, I've got 3 of the vehicles on this page here out of there, and I got a friend out in the country, I can take cars out there, the ones that I can't get operable, you know. But like I say, I got a Camaro that's, really nice, and I just don't want to take those out there, so.
Okay.
But
Well,
I
if we can get
appreciate-
those licensed, I think we'll be okay then.
All right,
All right?
okay, appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks, and we can talk about it if we need to, okay?
All right,
All right.
all right, thanks, Council.
Johnny,
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
Johnny, you need someplace to go with that yellow GMC, you can bring it down to my house.
Good.
That's,
That's the best fix.
Johnny, that's called a hook. Don't fall for it.
No, I've been holding on to that one for a long time. It's a classic, but, like my cars in my yard, they're classics, they're not just old trashy cars that,
Let's see what we can do.
belong in
in
a
the 60
demolition
days.
derby or something.
Well, that's what we, like she said, see what we can get done in 60 days. We appreciate it.
Okay,
Yeah, thanks for coming in and talking.
Thank
to
you.
us. I appreciate that. Anybody else?
What you said. Trying to help.
Yeah. All right, I believe we are down to the first reading of ordinance 1151.
A motion on the second reading?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, for the,
Yeah, the one about the,
Oh, I thought we did that earlier.
We did.
after the hearing. We went out of the hearing and
That's all
you guys
going.
voted on that.
Oh, is that right? I didn't,
Yeah, they did it,
yeah.
we did it out of order,
Yes,
Debbie, just
yeah.
to keep you on your toes.
he made a motion that we move all personnel things to executive session.
Now you're on.
I have a question about personnel. But
But it's going to executive session?
Second
Not
reading
about
on-
that part of it,
on
if you'll
11:50.
excuse me.
Yeah, we got
I think he said
This motion
all
carried, right?
personnel issues to executive session.
I'm not going to speak about a personnel issue. You're being quite rude. Would you let me speak?
I'm not being rude. You're out of order.
We
Okay,
skipped personnel, Carl. Did we skip personnel because you didn't think there was anything there?
That was the motion.
well, actually, there is I think just on the council's, there's a typo on Officer Close's raise, it's 1872, and Bart's is 1711. So there's just a correction on those.
And then I wanted to ask something.
Yes, please do.
When we have things listed under personnel, and maybe Misty, it should be directed to her, could we please list it, like if it's a hiring, that it should read a motion to hire, and if it's a raise, a motion to give someone a raise. If it's not part of a resolution, it needs to be made by motion.
Okay,
That's all.
all right.
Any step increase is automatic though?
Yes.
If it's not part of a no, I'm just saying, if you have something on there, not tonight, but in the future, that's not part of a resolution, it needs to be a motion to give someone a raise. It can't just be arbitrarily give anybody a raise you want to. It has to be made by motion under personnel.
Right, but these are step raises, so there wouldn't have to be.
Right, that doesn't
That's
apply.
what I was asking,
Yeah.
yeah. It sounds like
She's saying
you want to do
anything
that.
that's not on a resolution.
Okay, so I'm assuming that the interim city administrator item is going
Yeah.
to executive session. Okay, so now, we did the hearing, we did the second reading on 1150, and that carried after the hearing. And now we are to the first reading of ordinance 1151, which is the conditions for dispute of water utility billing. It is in your package. Hope you already looked at it.
Point of order. Did we do a second reading on 1150?
Yes,
We
we did.
voted,
I
but-
missed that. It was right after they closed the hearing. Carol Ann made a motion and Craig seconded it, and everybody
So we skipped down to ordinance after the hearing?
did. That's what Carol Ann was doing, was seconding. She was making the motion to pass the second reading.
Well, then I go back and do it again.
Isn't that what you were doing?
Everybody's okay with 1150 as voted before? Okay. Well, that's why I skipped it.
Yeah.
So first reading of 1151, the conditions for disputing the water. And that is in your package. It's 3 pages. It is the first reading. Carol Ann spent a lot of time on this, which I appreciate.
Yeah, and
And the attorney.
It was Dwight and Tim and Craig and myself and Barb at the water department and the attorney and the mayor said in summer meeting. So it was certainly joint effort. And I would like for, if you have any questions from council, Dwight, would you mind answering them?
No?
And it's worded exactly how you guys wanted it.
Should we make a motion first and second and then discussion?
Sure.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Discussion.
So I read through it, I guess. I didn't see anything that really concerned me. I guess you guys spent a lot more
It
time
was
on
such a
it.
fuzzy area before, and this kind of sets it out in concrete as to what happens if you have a big water leak.
And what I,
And it treats everybody the same.
right, there'll be a formula that's followed when they're 3 times over their annual average, as opposed to finance officer or mayor or anybody else deciding what the credit, if credit's due or not, just it's too subjective. So I'm definitely very fine with having a formula that we use to determine this.
Prior to this, it was
Public
taken-
Works, basically.
taken issue by issue.
And see,
Actually,
Barb
the
could just
ordinance
kinda do
didn't
it.
say public works.
I know, but when I was on Public Works, we discussed several, I mean, it was kind of just willy-nilly.
We actually had an ordinance that we were not aware of and we were not following.
Well, we have been the last few weeks, but the old,
Yeah,
you know,
but
not this
before we
one.
started working
Yeah.
on it.
I guess I think this would make it a lot easier. I was involved both as on the Public Works Committee and as the bill collector for the water department. So I got in on quite a few of these even before Public Works was getting them.
Yeah, it's just too much.
And it's a lot of, you know, I guess I really didn't think that it was the responsibility of the employees in the water department to decide who got a rebate or who got back or whatever. I like this deal here, it's gonna make it a lot easier for everybody.
I agree. So, we have a vote on the first reading, all in favor?
No.
Roll call. Roll call.
Ashley,
Yes.
Grimes,
Yes.
Holmes,
Yes.
McComb,
Yes.
Romy,
Yes.
Schwarzenbach,
Yes.
Tesher,
Yes.
Weenan.
Yes.
Motion carried.
So that's just the first reading carried, right?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Do you want to discuss this resolution now or in executive session for the scale for city administrator?
I'd say executive session.
It's not really-
Not really personnel.
No, it's not. Just making sure.
I make a motion, we approve the resolution.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Questions?
Questions?
Why don't we base some of these deals on experience when we put out a job ad? How do you dream up a wage when you don't know
We're
what
going
you're
with
getting?
the statewide average for a Class 2 city. That's not dreaming it up, that's based on data across the state.
No, if you,
Yes.
if you read Municipal League magazine, a lot of times when they have a job app for all kinds of stuff in there, it'll say, depending on experience. It doesn't say, we're gonna follow the state guideline on wages.
And that's why we can say they have 1 year experience, 86% of this, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. It is based on experience.
This is the top of scale.
This is top of scale. Based on the statewide median
If you're gonna
salary.
base that, then you have nowhere to really start at. You have to start them at whatever your,
80%.
That would be the
number.
80%.
80% of that number. So if a person really isn't qualified, irregardless, you gotta start them with 80%, whether they're qualified or not, right?
Theoretically,
Theoretically,
but
okay, theoretically.
why would we hire somebody that's not qualified?
I don't know, why do we?
No plan to. Any other discussion?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. Flip. Are you wanting the old business and?
Yep.
Okay, new business, propane pre-buy.
When did you get that over?
Personnel issues.
In your motion
You
for
ready to go
executive
through those?
session.
Okay.
Propane pre-buy.
I'll make that motion.
And second it.
Discussion, more discussion?
Do we have to use that by a certain date? or-
May
or
2015.
Then what happens if we don't use that much? Are we confident we're gonna use that much?
the number is based on our usage from last year.
Well, that's what Craig was asking earlier, if we was gonna buy it lower, if we got this under contract, if we don't use it all, what happens to the excess?
Well, I know that
You know,
when I pre-buy, if I go beyond the spring date, that's left over. And they use it at the, whatever I bought it at.
They don't charge you for it, you get
No.
a rebate on
No.
Yeah,
Either give you a credit or.
yeah,
Credit.
credit for it.
it. Okay.
Okay?
Point is, you don't use your pre-buy until the current price is higher than the pre-buy price. That's the point we're trying to make. You're using the pre-buy price when you can buy it on the open market right now cheaper.
I get
The
the point.
contract says it has to be used in full.
Well, I didn't negotiate the contract. If someone would have asked for a little help putting the contract together, I guess maybe it'd been different.
But that's how the contract reads.
It's been on the agenda since at least late August, so.
Yeah, are we basing this on, like you said, based on what we used last year or years past?
Last year,
And we've used that many gallons?
yes,
Did you do it on an average or just 1 year?
just last year,
You didn't take maybe 2 or 3 years and see what your average was? Would that have been better?
could be, I don't know.
But who did you get the current propane from for City Hall?
PJ's,
Then why didn't he bill us at the current rate? Instead of taking it from this amount?
Probably went down since we started this, because I know it has.
It was $1.69 before we ever started this, and when we started this, it was $1.69 for just off the street.
How many gallons were purchased for City Hall?
It's actually in your, you just approved paying for it.
36,000.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about what did we just buy?
Oh, what did we
Yeah,
just
so
pay out?
it's in,
it's in your payments,
We
it's
just
like
paid
the last,
$6,823.78.
it's on the back page of your payments.
$6,800.
well, City Hall's tank was 0. We wanted heat.
Well, no problem buying propane, I just, you know, it says it must be used in full, what happens if we don't burn that much propane this winter? Which we probably will, I guess, but what if we don't?
You're
They
gonna pay
don't-
for
They don't
it.
spell it out.
I'm sure that you can get your tanks filled with what's left. I mean,
Well, we
that-
hope.
that-
Might
that's
sit in there.
We're going on
Yeah.
a lot
Well, we'll
of
be filling our
assumptions.
tanks up the end of May, for sure, if we haven't already used it.
Street Shop has a big tank. They use a lot of propane.
A lot of places use one.
If we burn it all up, it might be a warm winter.
Price may not ever go above $1.69 either.
Yeah,
Guys,
but- and then-
you asked
so
to
we're
do a
getting
propane
short end of it
pre-buy,
there,
you can't
too.
have it both ways.
You sure can, you do a pre-buy and you don't use it until your current price outweighs it, that's just how it works, I guess. I don't know how to say it any other way, you know?
We fill up our tanks now at this price, we're not gonna make it through, we're not gonna use up all of this.
I didn't write the contract.
Where are we at with this, Debbie?
We have a motion and a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Yeah, I have two
Motion carried.
no's.
3 no.
Three no.
Motion carried. Okay, we have heat, that's good. We've already discussed the property at 945 24th Street. I think given Mr. Flight's comments, we need to think about this recommendation a little bit. Do you want to go to the attorney?
What on that building?
This is on Johnny.
Johnny's.
Johnny?
We gave him 60 days, it sounded like, so do we need a motion to give him 60 days or just?
No, I don't think so. I think we've
That's in the
already given
letter.
them 60 days. Can we agree to that?
Didn't you just agree to work with the man?
60 days?
That's what I, so well, what further?
We don't need
Need to
to.
go to the attorney.
So I think we table it?
Yeah. Not
No
even do
action.
anything.
No
Not even
action.
address
There's
it.
no action.
We don't need to do anything until it's 60 days.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Do we need to vote to agree to that?
No.
No action? Okay. All right, is Jackie here? Lockwood? Jackie was gonna come and talk to us about United Way and seeing if the city was interested in donating to United Way. But I agree with Carol Ann's comments, we kind of need to get a handle on our accounts, and Jackie's not here, so.
United Way is usually done to the employees, what they want to donate. It's not an amount that the city gives.
Any other discussion on that?
Did she give out, pamphlets or something?
She was gonna come tonight.
Gave pamphlets to
Okay, then it's
employees.
probably already been done.
They've already chosen what they
They
want
have
to
till
do.
December or something, so it's still something that employees can do. Surplus city property, I think I asked this to be on here, right, Debbie?
Yes.
It was me. Okay. There's several properties that the city owns that are not generating property tax, I'll say. And I just want you all to be aware that I'd like us to look at that and to entertain the idea of auctioning it, selling it, getting it back on the tax rolls. So this is just really something for discussion, to give you kind of heads up if it's something I'll be looking at.
Hardly had an engineer survey a lot of it. We can do that
Yep.
a
And I'm
long
just
time ago.
gonna,
Just never done it.
gonna keep it going like the propane pre-buy.
Can you give the address or something?
Yes.
Okay, can we get
Yeah,
the
I'll
list
get
of
you all
them?
that information, I just didn't, it just didn't get in your packet, but there is that information, pictures. So just kind of a heads up that that's coming and that, we should auction or,
We need to get a hold of the engineer firm, because Kenny Hayden got a hold of me at this last auction I seen him at. And he said that that land out there never got surveyed. Well, I know it did, because I seen the stakes out there at one time.
which land, on Hot Brook?
Yeah, on his side of the road. It's like 5 acres there.
Right. But that would be something we might want to surplus.
Well, that's what I'm saying, we had it surveyed, but there's,
I
you
know
can't
there was
find any.
stakes out
Yeah,
there.
there was.
We've discussed surplus property for 3.5 years.
So we need to get hold of Anderson, make sure that there's stakes there.
Just giving you a heads up, it's something I'm gonna look at, and, absolutely, we gotta do it right, so. One of those things that Misty will probably help me with, and just let people know that that's what we're gonna look at doing. The water fill station on the bypass,
That's getting through Public Works. I want to make a motion that we have our city engineer start drawing up plans for us to look at. We don't actually commit to it yet, but draw up the plans for the water fill station. Yeah, I got the address here for it. At 1042 and 1042.5 South River Street, which is the old Walker property, which is located along the bypass. It is currently zoned right for this now.
I'll second that.
And I think it would be a good location for it, but again, with the money issue, I don't think we want to commit to building it yet, but we can sure get some plans in the works.
So you're making a motion to move forward with the planning.
With plans to see if we can do a loop system through there or exit onto the bypass. You know, there's several different ways we can go about getting the traffic in and out of there.
Craig,
Would the water department have funds to fund something like this?
I believe there's.
So they would be funded in
Yeah,
the water.
yeah, let's look at the plans and then entertain a vote again, but I'm gonna ask for a vote to move forward with planning it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. The golf course and airport signage is back on here because the state, and maybe Scott, you can help me with this since you're here, the state would not allow us to do the double-sided sign on 71 as we proposed. So, and that was our most expensive sign. The airport currently does not have any kind of sign, and Debbie, I don't know if you knew Ed was here in your roll call. He's hiding in the back row. But the sign that we did have out at the airport was a donated sign, and it got moved, so we currently do not have any signage at all at the airport. So I was wanting you all to entertain the idea of at least doing the two-sided airport sign, the city branded airport sign for putting out on, you know, right in front of the airport. It would be in the existing frame that where the other sign was. It would just be a two-sided sign that would be a city branded sign.
I'll make a motion that we do the airport
Do we
one.
have the money for it?
is there money in their budget for it?
It's a city sign.
I don't care, we don't have any money, so I guess unless it's in their budget, I don't think we ought to be doing it.
Well, you approved $12,480 before for a sign that we're not doing now. So,
Why did the state say we couldn't do that?
The state allows welcome signs like for the towns, but they don't allow any kind of directional, commercial, or signs like this one have the golf course on it with an arrow. They don't allow that, but they would allow another welcome sign, just like the other three that the city's put up, that would be approved. They denied the sign, not the location.
Well, what are they gonna do about a double-sided sign saying Hot Springs Municipal Airport?
I was just talking to Ed, and he says that that's on the airport property, on that side of the fence. It's not on the right-of-way side of the fence. That's the difference, is the whole right-of-way issue with the state. And I would have to double-check that location, just to make this legal and safe.
I would make a comment that this is not an emergency to do this sign, and we just turned down helping some kids go to something that they all would have liked to help them with, and I can't see voting to put up a sign when we can wait a while on that.
I agree. We need to get our money in order.
agree with that. I think we still need to vote on it at this point.
You don't have a
I
second?
don't have a second.
Oh, I didn't get a
We
second?
don't get a second.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Then never mind, I'm sorry, I thought we did.
I just made a motion, but nobody seconded.
Oh, okay, that's maybe what I heard then. Okay, so no action. Then city employees' favorite item, days off. Thanksgiving and the day after Thanksgiving, and Christmas and the day after Christmas are awarded holidays by the state. And I'm told that we follow suit with the state normally. What's that?
That the governor called it for the state employees, and usually our personnel manual follows with what the governor calls. With your approval.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Abstain.
Motion carried.
Good job.
Yeah. Okay, the easement at Hot Brook, I did get a response from Carol, which basically is, she has contacted Mr. Hanson, regarding the Keel easement and has not heard back from him. So she's.
Well, I can do that. We need to make sure they're not crossing our property, then if we can't cross theirs.
Gate was open.
Was it?
It's been a week and a half ago.
The last time I was out there, it wasn't.
Okay, so I'm just sharing information on that one.
We need to have somebody go out there and make sure it's open. If not, we need to make
Yeah,
sure
I'll
they
just
don't
drive
go
out
across
there
ours.
before I come in work tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yep. Hiring an auditor for 2013, Misty, you want to give us an update on the discussion we had today?
Sure.
Thank you.
We spoke with Tracy at Kettle Forstensen today about why we had a.
I'm going to give her a mic.
I can speak up.
It's video, it's recorded, so it's just,
We spoke with Tracy at Kettle Forstensen today about why we are having a pre-audit for 2013 instead of just an audit. And then also about their ability to do an audit for us after the pre-audit is done. The reason that they're doing a pre-audit is because they want to help us make sure that everything's in line, and we haven't had our bank reconciled with our general ledger, which has to be done. They're gonna help us with that. And then once that's done, they can't do the final audit because they'd be auditing their own work. So she was going to provide us a list of accountants who would be able to help us with that. She talked about municipalities such as ours, because of the changing laws and standards, and all the CPAs are aging, and there's not a lot of accountants out there that are being hired in municipalities, that a pre-audit and the services they provide can help a municipality make sure that the things that need to be done are done in line prior to the auditing. So we hope to have the pre-audit finished by December. She gave us the first couple weeks in December as a completion date for our pre-audit, and then simultaneously we'll be working on a pre-audit for 2014, and then hopefully have an auditor hired to complete the 2013 as soon as she's done, and then start on the 2014.
great, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
All right, Carol Ann.
But don't we need to, Misty, I talked to her today too, Tracy, and when did she say we would actually, because we could go ahead and be in the process of hiring an auditor, because they're not going to get to us until probably next spring or something.
She said she'd be completed with the pre-audit, but she was gonna give us a list by email, and
I
we
know,
can talk about.
But she mentioned to me that you can go ahead and be in a hiring process anyway, and picking one out.
Yeah,
Which
we're,
we plan on
the
doing.
three of us discussed that today, and we will be
Plan on taking action
moving
right away.
forward to get an auditor in place for 2013 and 2014.
This comes from Von Fortin. Carl had questions about this. Must I get advanced authorization to conduct a government audit from the Audit General? The answer is yes, you do. So at some point, when we decide to hire an auditor, there's a form, Debbie knows what it is, you send it in, and then it's approved, whoever you chose.
Did you give her a copy?
Debbie's actually got a copy of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll
Okay.
share that. When we select a firm to do our audit, we'll bring it to the council. You guys will make a motion and to approve it, and then we'll send that letter into the Department of Legislative Audit, and they'll see who we selected and approve the audit. They send us a letter back.
And one more thing that I didn't really understand until today, that we talk about doing an audit every other year. We have to have an audit every year. So if they skip a year, then they're doing 2 years at once. She said there's no city in South Dakota that does that now. You do yearly audits, it's cheaper, you do it every year, so you don't want to wait 2 years.
You should do it every year.
We are doing 2014 as soon as 2013 is done, and it'll be probably the same auditor, and that's what we'll request when we hire an auditor. So, we agreed, and we will do that, and we're already working on it. So, Misty's been here one day, and she's already working on it, so it is a high priority.
They also mentioned some public accounting training that they're willing to do. They'll come down and do some public accounting
Yeah,
training.
they would
one-on-one.
help
Yes,
help.
Kettle Forstensen will help
Yeah.
train Misty in public accounting. So that's already set up too, and Banyan's next. So, all right, any other discussion on that? Okay, Carl, administrative committee report, please.
We have not had a meeting. Won't have one until the Wednesday before the next city council meeting. 2 o'clock on Wednesday, November 19th, or
12th, I think. 12th is
12th.
when, yeah, and we did want to set a date.
that's after that next meeting.
Probably the Monday after. 11th is Veterans Day.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday. So, on the 12th at 2 o'clock, you will set a date to go over the employee manual? Or
I
whatever
think
it's
we
called?
should really set it, so everybody can be
Can I
ready
ask a
for it.
question about that? I mean, I have it with me today. Does that mean, I know other departments, they, Council Scott about this, you get your manual, every one of us goes over it, we look and see what our questions are, we can submit them back or whatever. It could be done in a council meeting. And we don't need to go over every word.
I have done it with pretty much everybody. It's the council that needs to be ready for it.
What?
I've gone over it with all of the departments that I have.
Right.
It's the council that needs to be updated.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right,
The
they are the
council
ones.
would look at it, and areas, I have questions.
Mhm.
And I
It
still
might-
haven't been able to find the copy that you took yours from. You said it was a municipal league?
Yeah.
Well, I've looked at their website, I've got a security
We-
clearance to
we-
get into theirs and copy it, and I
And we
can't
worked
find
on-
your copy.
We worked on writing up everything that we wanted in it. And that's what do you have a copy of it now? Okay. Then it may take more than just being sitting at a council meeting, is why we're suggesting.
I don't know, I think that we're all competent enough to look at that and see where we have questions.
But if we all do our questions in a vacuum, and we
No, and
change,
then we do them in council meeting.
I'd rather have a regular
It's gonna be a council meeting, whatever we do.
Because
I
there's
think it's
also,
gonna be longer than.
there's also the safety procedure manual is also going to be with it. So
We
there's,
don't have a copy.
and I asked everybody to get one of those, so we need to get that.
Well, why don't you just break it up then? We'll do the employee manual, and then you can do your safety at a further date. I agree with Carol Ann.
The safety procedure manual needs to be done.
It has to be
then
done at the
before.
same time.
Well, or before, but if you want to meet twice, that's up to you, but it
It's
could
gonna
be
be
done
part
at the
of
same time.
the handbook.
It will be part of
So we have to call a city council meeting.
it. Or if you want to come to the meeting and set it up for the 12th, everybody can come, council can come. That's what we're going to do.
At our
The 12th
regular
of-
council meeting.
No, the admin meeting, if you want to do it on the admin meeting.
You can't
On the
have,
12th, you can advertise,
Yes,
you can advertise for it to be done that day. Because I think it'll take too much time to sit at this council meeting and do
I
it.
agree.
I agree. It's a 42-page document.
well, if you do your homework, if you read it and go through it and highlight the questions you have,
And I have done that.
And I have had everybody refer back to me also from different departments.
But it's gotta be a discussion. You can't change things in a vacuum. You've gotta have a
So
discussion.
we're gonna have, but are we doing it in an admin meeting? Is that what you said?
I would like to have it done then, if that is something everyone could attend that would like to add or do whatever. The 12th of November
At 2 o'clock.
at
in the
2
afternoon.
o'clock.
City Hall.
I won't be here. Okay. But I can submit my areas of question.
And that would work.
In
So be
fact,
sure and get
they
your
could all do
safety.
that.
They can do that? Be sure and get your safety.
And I think the attorney needs to look at some of it, I think is not legal, it's in there. I don't
Then
think
probably
I
you
need
need
to
to
look at it.
suggest what ones you want to the attorney to address. Okay.
Scott,
Yes, sir.
have you printed out that safety manual for each one of the members of the council yet?
No, sir. That's still at the department heads. Each one of them has a copy of that safety manual, and they're giving me their comments in each one of those books. I'm bringing the books back, and then I'm gonna compile it into what they agreed to, what they can live with, and then at that time, I'm gonna present it to you. And I believe you asked for that. I would have to look at my notes. You asked for that before you go with your personnel manual, but I have it written down, and everybody knows to get that back to me so I can get it to you.
Okay.
Can you get it to us before the 12th? Are all that done by the 12th?
I think that's what I asked for.
I think you did. I think that's what he asked for.
Yeah, when we talked at that meeting, we gave him a couple weeks. which
Yeah.
is-
And I have good information coming back, and I'm gonna compile it, and then get it to you folks. These guys are really reading the employee safety manual. They're taking it to their employees that they supervise. Lots of good feedback is coming back, and they're taking it to heart, and I'm glad to see that.
I'm glad to see that too,
I-
especially with it gonna be a part of that
I've had a
employee
lot
handbook.
of good comments on just having the safety meetings that you're doing, so I really appreciate that.
No, I'm glad to hear that you're getting good feedback, and it's kind of fun. We're enjoying it.
Thanks.
Scott. Public Works, Dwight?
Water fill station, we already voted on that. Water ordinance, we voted on that. City cleanup days for 2015, we're gonna have 4 of them again. And they will be the last week, full week of April, June, August, and October, same as this year. What's that?
I got a question.
Yeah.
Our cleanup, it's my understanding that when we started doing this, people could take out 2 loads.
That's the way it was written.
There's people that have taken out 7 to 12 loads. And from what I understand, is never told that people could only take out 2 loads.
Well, that's anybody's excuse, but,
I mean, the
and some of
employees
them-
said that.
One person I know was hauling for other people, too.
Well,
And that was,
they need to have proof on that, I think. Then somebody's,
That's how it was written up, that they should have. to.
somebody's
Define a
tearing a
load.
trailer apart and hauling it out.
Define a load to me.
Pickup box.
Or a pickup.
One trailer or one pickup box. That's how it was written up.
Yeah.
I guess I got a question. Wonder when they're gonna give us a free tire day?
I was told next spring.
We might have to adjust the cleanup week to
Coincide with the tire deal?
Yeah.
If we can dump them for free.
I'll find out, but I was told next spring.
Dwight, will you hold
Who
your
defines
meeting on
that?
the 10th or the 20th?
What did Mary say?
10th is a holiday.
11th.
11th is a holiday.
So Monday, or do you want it on
I
Monday?
think we went for Wednesday, if I remember right.
Is that-
I think that's
You made
what.
3 meetings
Mary,
on Wednesday.
Mary called me and I was
Also
busy,
on her
but
calendar then?
I
that's
think I went for Wednesday.
But do you want it Monday? She wrote it on Monday. Do you want it
Oh,
Wednesday?
then it's
That's
Monday.
I'm asking what day you want it.
Let's stick with whatever she wrote.
Okay.
Monday?
All right.
I think it's Monday.
I know
Yeah.
better than to fight the second.
Yeah.
All right. Back to you, Carl.
Well, we've already taken care of everything that was
Yeah,
under
Mary
the
sent out
nuisance.
some letters. And Officer Close will report next meeting.
Okay.
Wes?
We met with Tallgrass and went over this parks plan again. We're proposing to have one more meeting and kind of get it all together before I think they were talking about the November 17th council meeting, putting on a presentation. They were supposed to send us a letter, email on their next meeting. Have you received anything? So they're proposing to, I guess, get this thing wrapped up here real quick and do that final presentation to the whole council, I think about the 17th. So I guess we'll see if we get a meeting pulled together between now and then. And I think that's all we'll talk about, wasn't it? I think that's about it. We talked pretty much about the master plan again.
All right, thanks, Wes. The public safety meeting will be right before the next city council meeting, and Officer Close will report on several items on the 17th. Georgia.
Well, we have all kinds of things going on.
Excuse me, are you moving off of the public safety? Or are you still on that?
We can be on it.
Okay, can I ask a question about it?
Yes, you may.
I'm confused about Police Chief Mike Close will report on November 17th when under old business, there's a motion to appoint him as police chief.
Well, he was actually appointed in the, if you look at the meeting notes from October 20th,
He
he was
wasn't
appointed.
appointed because we didn't vote on it. I've got documentation right here.
We're going to go into executive session on that one to discuss, but they did approve it in the notes, so.
We need to vote on it. It's follow the formality. We did not do it correctly. We're going to correct it tonight.
Is that your question?
Yeah, it just seems contradictory that you have a police chief starting that you haven't voted on.
We didn't do it right. We're
He
gonna
was
do it
already,
right
he's
now.
already been appointed, and he's already
He can't be
started.
appointed, and I have the documentation right here, so. you got that.
Georgia?
Okay. Okay, I met with Chris for the Mueller Center. The girls' locker rooms, or shower rooms over here, they put a door on it so they can store the gymnastic equipment so that it's removed from his area so he can't go on to work with.
Don't sound like it.
Okay.
When you turn them on, they look better.
Test.
Talk loud.
Right.
Here.
Okay. There. Chris is working on the negotiating some of the contracts with the school, and the theater has offered now to change a little bit more of the ticket sales to 10% is what it was, and now they're going to offer $1 per ticket for the use of our theater because they practice in there, and they have 3 performances coming up this year. Pictures that we were going to redo a little bit out here, he's put that on hold. He's working on gutters on the back where we have the issues there. He fixed, or had the mower fixed at the city shop for the spring, the weeds. The dishwasher in 2015 is what we're looking at, he's been looking at, and then 175 chairs will be ordered next year, right? No tables, and he ordered some signs for the parking. There's 2 street signs that will be put up in the parking lot. We're working on advertising for the Plunge Golf Course, the Mueller Center, some of that issue. Those issues are to kind of combine a little bit. The Bride magazine, he's going to plan on putting more things in there so we get more weddings here in the Mueller Center. The Plunge then, we did get some 4 security cameras put in there. Silver Sneakers Fitness is supposed to be returning.
We got accepted.
Good. And there's, Theodore, you did put a bunch of stuff in your pack, or we got that tonight, right? All the updates. Theodore would like to put in or change a work on the deck that we have around the Plunge. And the HVAC was worked on by Al Cornella. and that it's fixed and working good. Fundraisers, they're looking at some things by the Friends. The new logo, not name change, is being worked on. The budget for our loan payment is due in December, and those are being watched by Theodore really close. We had a complaint, and he followed up on that, and it had to do with a bar in the hot steam room getting in and out, and that's been taken care of. Memberships for this month, past month, were a little bit down. Propane was hooked up so that we can have heat in the locker rooms. The showers and the water pumps all, I guess they come together anyway. Those have been worked on. Ginger Past or Safe Serve, or Serve Safe. And Vincent and Theodore are going to go for training for the lifeguard class. The women's night was a success. The men's night will be planned for December. Our Halloween party was a success. Flint Electric fixed the steam room light, I believe it was, and one in the back where it had been broken out, and it was kind of a risky area for the people coming into work. The painting is just about done. I think everybody has seen those. Those are really, it looks good down there.
Oh, I got a question on painting. Why did we not paint the backside?
Of the building?
Yeah.
Save money.
I see they were down there today. Must have been, have we made our final payment to them?
No,
'Cause they weren't done. I mean, they still aren't done.
that's correct.
Painting the backside of the tower.
It's almost done. We're working on it. Still have to get the sign put up on the side. Chris Wilson is doing a lot of the organizing and fixing chairs and all the things that needed work down there. Let's see. Golf course, we met, and there's so much going on with the irrigation system, and that might be why you asked about pipes and all that. Jason's been working on breaks constantly, so the long-range goal is to still get the front nine, maybe a new irrigation system put in there. Our architect is supposed to come up with the final stage and report, and I have the 1st of November, but I don't know if he came or not.
Yeah, first couple weeks.
They did put in some new signs for safety up there. That was one of the recommendations from the architect. And let's see, because we have such a longer growing season this year, the costs for maintaining the golf course are increased. And people expect more then, it costs more. One of the things that Kevin, our architect, suggested is usually 10% of your population use the golf course. We have about 6%. Our driving range is safer, but that is what, with the signs, but that was one of the bigger issues. And they wanted to maybe look at starting a different type of use, and that would be foot golf. They've been using those in a lot of different golf courses now. We need to look at the life cycle of some of our golf course areas, like the sand pits and bunkers, tee boxes. Those are the issues that will probably be presented in the survey. Girls' State for the golf will be in 2016, so what we do between now and then will reflect the use of the golf course for them, how it's prepared. So we need to plan for that, 2016. Our October special, we only had about 5 takers, where they got 18 holes for the price of 5. And I think they were going to, I mean, the price of 9, but we only had 5 takers. He's looking for an old washer to use in the maintenance area for cleaning the uniforms, especially if they've been contaminated with different types of chemicals. They have cameras they've installed up there, and that's helped a lot with safety and people working in the front feel a little bit better about going down below. They do have wheelchairs for people that want to park down below or use. And then I went to the library.
Can I ask one thing about the golf course? Did we have like a free round of golf or a water bill or something?
Yeah, if you took your water bill up, you've got 18 holes for the price of 9. Is
I
that
thought it
right?
was a free round.
And a free round, if, one free round, or
Yeah.
something, yeah.
That wasn't advertised very
I
good.
didn't think so either. I didn't,
I don't think anybody even knew about
I didn't really about it.
but it was on your
It's on your water.
water bill.
it. Yeah, but
I don't see a water bill.
So,
It wasn't on mine.
we need to
Do
bring that up
another-
here at the council meeting too, so
Yeah.
people know.
yeah.
It can be put out to people, that was
I-
pretty shy.
I don't think that everybody realized it happened either, so I mean, so maybe we'll try again.
Maybe tell people about it.
Yeah. The library, Jan received an award out here, but that will be presented on the 22nd of January, I believe, state accreditation. And Dawn gave a presentation on the team program, and we'd like to have her do that here at the council meeting if she could. That was really well received. The state library report, Cindy is going to present that to the city at a later date. So, our procedure manual, she's working on that at the library, and I have asked everybody to keep working on those. It's something that needs to be done in each one of these departments. And like I said earlier, safety committee meeting was received really very well, and Cindy's the secretary for the committee, so she's been doing that for Scott. It was a noted the 26th of December, it'll be off because it's a holiday. Carnival was October 31st, and we usually raise about 2,000. I don't know how that went.
Probably not that much.
Not that much, and the triathlon usually is about 6,000. I think that was a little less this year. And I did not make it to the library, or the airport meeting, but Cindy, you did.
Yeah, I did bring my notes.
I think I have a copy of it then. I talked about the hay.
You know, we're definitely, the ag issues were probably more of a discussion, getting their website up to date. And then just questions about the Peatland and Son contract, which, you know, is not done by any means.
How much have they made this year?
I don't know about a dollar number, but you talking about bales of hay?
That? I know we're gonna lease the property out from Kyle.
Yeah.
Did they get a contract for that?
Not yet.
There were about 228 bales in 2014.
How much they sell?
Don't know.
Ed can probably tell you.
We received a check from Lamont, I think. it's-
Yep,
Yes.
Tim Lamont.
2,700 something. I don't have the exact figure here with me. I'll tell you that tomorrow if you want the exact amount. It's 2,700 something.
And then we go out for bid again for that in April or May, for the hay.
And we're going to look at contract for Peatland, is that right?
Well, we're gonna see what they want, what kind of, if I have to go to the safety training, I gotta reschedule that, so. I'm not sure where that's at right now. But that was, and it, thanks
I
for.
got, you want to clarify what with Peatland is going to do what?
Some of the things needed to be looked at.
My knowledge is still tied up in court, so I don't think we need to be doing anything at this point until we get a clarification from the judge.
That's correct.
Yeah.
It's not done, it's still in the Supreme Court.
Okay.
scroll.
Yeah.
So I
But-
don't think you need to be doing anything with Pete Lean at this point.
They're just gonna come out and there were some FAA
Yeah.
guidelines and requirements that they need to be aware of. So we're gonna meet with them, it was gonna be the 13th, but it's probably gonna move out a little bit now. So there's no contract, it's just a discussion.
Isn't there already a contract with Pete Lean?
No. No,
I think there is.
there was one proposed, but the FAA reviewed it. The FAA reviewed it and does not accept it as it's written. So if they don't approve it, it's not a contract.
Good.
Let's put it out for bid again.
What did you guys
Judge
made
can
of-
decide.
When we go to the next step, you'll know about it. Misty, did you wanna kind of report?
Well, today was my very first day working in City Hall, so I certainly don't have a lot to report on, but, talking to Debbie, who is a wealth of knowledge, and our mayor, and then Kate Thorstensen, I know there's a lot of work to do, but I'm anxious to get started, and I think that by the end of 2014 and starting 2015, we can definitely get things on track. So I have great expectations for 2015. I think that, although it seems like we're several years behind, it won't take very long to get things caught back up. We've got the right people ready to help us, and we've got good programs and a lot of experience in that office. So I definitely think that by 2015, we should be right back on track.
Thank you.
Good to have you on board.
Thank you.
welcome aboard.
And I think Debbie found an answer to something. Do you want to take this
Oh,
opportunity?
that Northwest pipe fittings that you were asking about. On the invoice, it says front 9 bath, so I think it was their bathroom on the front 9. It was a bunch of PVC brass couplings, just a bunch of water parts and stuff, it looks like that you needed.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Thanks, Debbie.
Thank you, Jess.
Yeah.
I just wanted y'all to be aware, I'm moving into mayor report, that Don DeVries has offered to be on a Delta committee to help work on the Boulder Falls Road agreement. That has kind of shifted in a bad direction, so Don, being experienced in that lawsuit, he's going to just step in as a citizen and try to help move that forward. Little good news, we went through a water treatment plant inspection in September, and we actually had no violations, so we have a very good running plant there. So that's some good news. Some other good news is the Soaring Club that's got their new hangar out at the airport sent us a very nice letter thanking Ed and thanking the city for supporting that. They're very, very happy and excited and out there almost every weekend, and just wanted to let you know that we got a very nice letter from them. Also wanted to let you know that there will be a survey going out, like I told Tom, about 2 pilots and 2 businesses that may use our airport. The State Home is a heavy user of our airport, and they'll also be completing the study, the survey. So just wanted you all to be aware of that. I wanted to thank Theodore for organizing events at the Plunge. I went about 10 o'clock on the Halloween night party, and it was a hopping place. I mean, there was a lot of people there having a lot of fun, and I just wanted to let you know I appreciate you doing those, and I believe it was a very successful night, and a good time was had by all. So keep up the good work there. I also wanted to let you know that I do have a draft. I just got it today of the clubhouse lease and the state, I don't know if I want to call it an ordinance, statutory requirements for leasing out our clubhouse, so we're definitely going to be following those laws, so I am aware of that, and I will get you all a copy of the draft, but I just got it today, so I want to make sure you're aware of that.
Has Carol looked at it?
Carol wrote it, but. Yeah. So that's all I had.
Motion to go into executive session.
All in favor? 10-minute break.
You're taking action.
City administrator, we're taking no action on that one. Motion to appoint police chief, put it in there, chief. Officer Mike Close.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carried. Motion to appoint finance officer Misty Summers Walton.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
That means opposed.
Motion carried. I believe that's it.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I know you're all in favor.